Am I the villain for defending myself from an online bully? So I admit I might most likely be one of the villains here because the opposing party was definitely the antagonist. But I'll let you all decide that. There might be a few typos, I'm sorry for that. So, I'm an 18-year-old female. Keep in mind I'm 18 years old because it gets kind of wild. I'm a writer, well, a writer in progress you can say. I write on Tumblr. I mostly write fanfic for a couple of book series as a way to shape my skills and become better at it. I currently have 7K followers and am so very grateful for the community I have built by writing. Every one of my followers is so supportive, and at times it makes me feel like I don't deserve it all, but I digress. A few months back, I fell in love with one of the fictional characters. He is a side character, not important to the books yet, as he is from an ongoing book series. Now, many people in the fandom are divided on him, half like him, half despise him. In my opinion, he himself is a very amazing character, and I literally can never stop thinking about him. Lol. Anyways, because I did not know many people who actively post about him, so I was just scrolling the posts under his tag. I found a blog run by, let's call her Emily, 19F. Now, Emily is hated, despised really, by most of the fandom on Tumblr. She is just the definition of a mean girl who projects so much and thinks the world revolves around her. Like, if you don't like certain characters or the way a book is written, just ignore it, leave the fandom, and protect yours as well as everyone else's peace. You are stressing yourself out by trying so hard to defend yourself and bullying others for it too. But that might just be my opinion. So, she claimed to be anti the main characters and pro the side characters. Nothing wrong with that, you do you. I personally never hate any characters. They are fictional and hence in no way, shape, or form harming me. If some character bothers me, I just ignore it. So now, I followed her, but she only really made hate posts about the main characters in the book, and the negativity started bothering me. So, I decided to unfollow her because I did not want to see the negative stuff on my dash, and I unfollowed her a couple of months after I followed her so she wouldn't have found out about me unfollowing her. I did not want to make it a whole thing by complaining about it, so I quietly left. Then another girl, let's call her Eve, 17F, started following me. She was so nice, read the books I recommended, read my stories, and all that jazz. We met through a role-playing thing where we made new blogs and pretended to be a certain character from the book series. We chucked in DMs too, and then out of nowhere, she sent me the link to a Discord server. I joined it, and there were 5 people in total, including me and Eve. We just talked a little, and that's where I met Emma, fake name, 19F. She had DM'd me a couple of times after I started the role-playing thing, talking about how much she loved me and stuff. She read my stories and loved it. The other 2 were guys. Now, we were all just chilling there, then joins Emily. I was surprised, but who am I to complain? Keep in mind that no one here knows anyone. We just found each other on Tumblr barely 2 days before we joined the server. I get you want people to understand and sympathize, but wait till you're more familiar. Who am I kidding? She makes posts on Tumblr about her dad. So now, Emily, out of nowhere, starts trauma dumping, for the lack of a better word. She knows no one in this server, and she literally sends a picture of her dad and calls him names like bald and stuff to a bunch of internet strangers, which weirded me out a lot. So, I decided to not interact too much, but I did try to comfort her like everyone else. That is basically all she did in the server when she wasn't bullying my friend, now Emma, basically the love of my life. I love her so much, platonic obs. She is literally the purest soul I have ever met in my 18 years of existence. She and one of the guys, let's call him Steve, are friends. They joke around a lot in the GC. So, when out of nowhere, she started calling Emma WH*re and bottom B*tch, I was baffled. Also, she was throwing around words like KS and D and JMP off of BRGE, literally the day we all joined, and she knew no one. Like, I get people do the testies and joke around, but we did not know each other, and she would do that. You know how people say to trust your gut. 2 days later, I left the server because my gut was like, girly, this ain't right. Now, there's another book series me and Emma loved, and we love the main love interest. But guess what? Even Emily hated him. So, a few days after I left, Emily started sh*t talking about the character Emma was trying to defend. him, and because Emily was starting to get really aggressive, Emma DM'd me asking me to come help her. I told her I had left, but I rejoined to help Emma because I knew Emily would bully Emma for no reason, and I did not want that. So, when I joined, she started arguing with me too. I tried my best not to get riled up because I knew Emily's whole personality was about being the mean girl. I'm not kidding. She literally makes posts about how she's the mean girl and loves it. Things started getting heated as she started bullying us because we like the guy. It got to the point that I knew someone would get hurt, so I tried to de-escalate, telling Emma that we'd talk about the character in private and leave the GC people alone. But then she started crossing boundaries, calling us names for liking a bad character, which is wild NGL because why are you bullying real people over fictional people? So, to not let things escalate, I told her, all right, let's forget it. You don't like this guy, we love him. We don't have to talk about him, and let's just move on. I was trying my best to de-escalate the situation, but Emily was adamant on arguing about him. And when I told her, let's just ignore it, she called us cowards. I had gotten mad. Unfortunately, I rarely lose my cool, but this girl was getting under my skin. I just texted, see, this is why I left. Emily was like, oh, you left because we have normal conversations. It's not my fault you can't have normal conversations like normal people. I left again after that, but I started to feel guilty about it. So, a few weeks after, I was talking to Eve, who sent me the link to the group again and told me to join it. I did. Unfortunately, I was thinking. One day, Emma and Emily were chatting in the GC about something. They were messing around, and I wanted to post the SCs here, but I am new to Reddit, and it won't let me attach the pics. I'm sorry, but basically what happened was Emma said, anyways, I win. It was meant to be harmless, but Emily got offended. She was like, to be honest with you, Idaho, you can jump off a bridge. So, I sent that Kevin Hart meme where he is being carried by someone low, and I was like, stop bullying my BBG. She told me, you can F***CK off too for all I care. So, I was like, okay, cool. And Emma thought that was so innocent of me. And then me and Emma started talking. I guess Emily did not like that, and she started throwing a tantrum. I am not kidding you all. She literally started throwing a tantrum, him basically copy-pasting everything here. Emily was like, yeah, I'm so immature. Go talk about it in DMs now. And me and Emma were so shocked at that sudden text that we stayed silent for some time, and Emily continued, everyone just treats me like a child. I might just act like one. You have a baby face or not an adult until 21. Just shut up and do as we say. You sound like a 12-year-old. You're a spoiled brat and ungrateful and naive. I am not kidding you all. That is exactly what she typed in the exact same way with half-capitalized letters. At this point, Eve entered the chat and asked what was going on. Emily went on. Everyone talks about me behind my back. Go do it. B***TCH about me in your private little messenger server. Literally no one ever talked about her behind her back. I don't know where she got that from. This kept on going until I was so fed up and unwilling to put up with her BS anymore. But after that, we all just ignored Emily for some time. Now, fast forward, I was close to 1.5K followers at that time, so I just sent a screenshot of it to the GC. I wanted to just share with the people I kind of considered friends. I was so happy and excited about it and wanted to talk about it because I could not control my happiness. So, me, Eve, and another one of my friends, Amber, she's my ride or die, all Shimmy and Emma are inseparable at this point. We were talking about it. Amber also knew of how aggressive Emily was. I was just telling them about how supportive and nice my followers were, and I shared with them the encouraging messages I received all the time. I also let it slip I wanted to do some sort of event to celebrate for my followers. Of course, Emily got jealous. She is one of the most hated bloggers in the fandom that I know of, and she apparently only has 500 followers, which, don't get me wrong, is a large number. It's an amazing number of followers, but I had 1.5K, and she got jealous because her next text was, you celebrate your followers. I don't care about them. I post for me, and if someone decides to follow me, it's just a byproduct. I was like, what? What do you mean you don't care? How are you not grateful about it? Anyways, I continued talking to Amber about it, and Emily texted, You can talk about this in your DMs with Amber. Elmao, you're clogging up the GC. Jealousy, jealousy. Why is it okay when she comes to talk about anything or her trauma in the GC because she's sharing her happiness or her pain, but it's wrong if I do it? So, I told her exactly that. I clog up the GC and you don't. I could leave. Ever the knight in shining armor came in and decided to be the stern hero. She told us to sort out our differences and make up, or she would kick us out, which is wild because every time Emily bullied me or Emma, Eve turned a blind eye to it. But when I or Emma defended ourselves and Emily got butthurt, Eve would threaten to kick us out. So, I told Eve that Emily started it. Eve goes, "Emily, be nice, please," like a slap on the wrist. So, I got mad because why was she always so nice when it came to Emily? I texted, "It's never a problem when Emily bullies us over fictional characters, but it's suddenly a problem when I defend myself." Eve removed me after that. Which, good riddance, but after I cooled down, I started feeling guilty because I thought I was the villain. I got so sad. I literally would cry out of nowhere. I genuinely liked Eve, but she was always on Emily's side for some reason. I was so ready to apologize to the two of them. I literally texted the two of them, but because they had blocked me, the text did not go through. After that, I talked to my mom and sister about it, both of whom told me not to apologize because I was not in the wrong. All my other friends also said the same thing. Still, I felt like a villain. So, I texted Steve, who was still friends with Emily. Emily has a thing for Steve and would always act like a pick-me when he was present, like she'd try to bring down Emma, who was close to Steve because Emily was into him. Even Steve told me to not apologize, and that's a big thing. I think Emma was still in that group, and she then sent me screenshots of Emily talking sh*t about me. She was calling me a b*tch and whatnot, and when Emma told her to stop it, she would not. She was a b*tch to me, so I will be a b*tch back. Even after Emma told her to stop, and that she didn't want to hear anything bad about me, Emily would not stop. She also literally said, "People can't handle the bullied fighting back. I will call her whatever I want. What are you going to do about it, huh?" In this case, she was calling herself the bully. She needs an older sibling to punch her. Eve also entered and sh*t talked about me, but if I get into that, the post will get too long. If possible, I will link a Tumblr post where I add in all the screenshots, if you all want to read it. Anyways, they all, for some reason, think I'm in my late 20s. I'd quiet those. So after this, on April 1st, they made posts accusing my friends of sending Emily hate. They didn't and even made a post about me. An exposed post is what she called it. She pasted out of context pictures of my texts and warned people to stay away from me. I cried that day for like 2 hours or something. I was so scared people were going to hate me for me being a b*tch, but Emma told me not to worry because Eve apparently only had 20 or something followers, and it would not affect me in the slightest, and that I was not a b*tch because I just defended myself. She also kept saying I was 29 years old for some reason, and I was like, come on, girl, at least get my age right. Then I also got a few hate anons, which I realized were from Emma and Emily. They have multiple accounts for some reason, and they kept sending me hate from the ones I hadn't blocked. They still probably have a lot more accounts that I don't know of. Anyways, I still feel like I was the villain because while I was bullied relentlessly, I did engage in all the arguments. If I had just ignored her, maybe all the drama wouldn't have happened. Please give me your opinions because I can't stop thinking about this. And while I am getting better and slowly forgetting about all this, there are still days I feel guilty about it. I also recently got an idea, but I forgot to add it in earlier. I was thinking I'll just make a public apology post and then close the topic and do my best to move forward. But maybe that will not be the best choice.